This is the introduction video for Microsoft Word 2010. First off, these here are called ribbons, and you simply change which ribbon you're looking at by clicking on the tab up above. They've laid it out in a somewhat logical way. If you don't remember exactly where the button you're looking for is, just start clicking on the tabs and look for it. Nobody expects you to memorize all of this, but we do expect you to become a better guesser. So a lot of the main buttons that we're accustomed to are on the home ribbon, but we'll be learning a lot of the buttons on many of the ribbons as we go through. You also have this, it's called the Quick Access Toolbar over here. Unfortunately, when you add buttons to this in class, those buttons will be gone the next day and you'll have to load them up again. But at home, on your own computer, feel free to add buttons here. I've gone ahead and I've added the print preview button because I like print preview. You can add all kinds of buttons here. If you find you're using certain features on a regular basis and you don't want to go hunting for them, you would simply pull this down and you can choose any one of these. But you can also go to more commands here and choose from a huge list. Again, if you find yourself using certain features on a regular basis, you would want to add them to this right here, okay, which is your Quick Access Toolbar. I'm not going to spend too much time because really in our classroom, you're not going to be able to use it much because, again, it will be gone tomorrow when you go to use this again. We're going to go over what all of these buttons do through various lessons, but I just want you to know if a button is grayed out, it's because it's not available right now. Right now, cut, copy, and paste are not available. Cut and copy are not available because we don't have anything selected. As soon as I select something, both of those become options. Paste isn't available because we haven't cut or copied anything. So if a button is grayed out, it means you don't have access to that. You can't use that button because you're missing something. And many times, it's because you don't have anything selected. As in the past, if you don't know what a button means and you want to know, what is this button? Just put your mouse on it and hover. In other words, don't click, just leave your mouse there and it will identify itself. So here it's telling you that this is the clear formatting button and it tells you exactly what it does. So there's really no need to guess because it tells you what it's going to do. A couple of buttons you may or may not be familiar with. This one here is Grow Font by 1. I use it when doing posters quite often. If you don't know how big you can go without messing up your document, you can just go, I'm going to move this up. And as I'm moving it up, as I'm making it bigger, I want to make sure that I don't go on to 2 pages here. So I'm watching down here to see if I get 2 pages. So I'm going to keep bumping it up as long as I can get away with it. And now I've gone on to 2 pages, so that's not good. So now I would move it back down. Because you don't always have a book or a set of instructions telling you how big to make something. In the real world, you're just kind of winging it. So you would just use these buttons sometimes when trying to make a document look better. So that's Grow by 1, Shrink by 1. I really like this button. It's only a couple versions old. It's relatively new. You may inherit documents, you may be working on a project and somebody started it and you don't like any of the formatting that they did. You can grab as much of the documents as you want. You can grab the whole thing if you wanted to and say clear all the formatting and then start from scratch. Okay, I didn't really want to do that. So one of my best friends when using the computer is your undo button and it brings it back to the way it was. But if you ever want to wipe out the formatting of anything, select it, clear formatting, and it brings it back to just regular formatting, which in this case happens to be Times New Roman 12. When you select something, I'm going to undo that again. When you select something in this version, you're also going to get this little ghost of a toolbar here on the side. So as soon as I'm done selecting, it comes up. And if you go to it, you have all of these choices here. I don't find myself using this very often, I guess because it hasn't been around very long. Some people love it. I hardly ever use it, but it's there. It's got some basic formatting things for you. What I find myself using more often is right-clicking. So I'll select something, and then I'll right-click it. And right-clicking always produces a menu. It's trying to guess what is it you'd like to do. And right-clicking, the menus differ depending on where you right-click. If I right-click up here, I get different menu. If I right-click here, I get yet a different menu. If I right-click here, different. Okay, so depending on where you right-click, you will get a different menu. But right-clicking always produces some type of a menu. It's trying to give you, it's trying to guess as to what it is you would like to do. Right now we have these different ribbons that are available. Insert, page layout, references, mailings, review, view. There are other ribbons. They just don't show up until you're actually doing something. Two examples. If I insert a table right here, I go insert table, and I put in a small table. Now all of a sudden my table tools ribbons come up. There's two ribbons for tables. We're going to learn all about these things because we're going to use tables a lot. But they don't come out until I actually put in a table. If I undo here, you'll notice that that toolbar disappears. It's gone. It'll only come up again when you put another table in. Insert picture, same idea. If I insert a picture, all of a sudden now I have this wonderful picture toolbar that does all kinds of neat things. If I undo, get rid of that picture, the toolbar disappears. You're able to zoom in and zoom out. Zooming out is like print preview. What's this going to look like when I print it? So I zoom out here to 59%. I can see that this is how this document is going to look if I print it. So you simply click and drag to zoom in and zoom out. Many of these menus here, so this ribbon has different areas. It's got clipboard, it's got font, it's got paragraph, it's got styles. We're going to learn all of these things down the road. But just understand these little arrows here are telling you there's a bigger menu if you would like to see it. So if you click on that little button, it will bring up the bigger menu with many more options. The options that are actually on the ribbon are the most popular ones, and then there are more on the rest of the menu. So if I want to see this entire menu, I will see all of these things plus more.